After our last video, a few of you sent me messages with a very honest, almost fearful question. You asked, Aura, are you anti-ambition? Are you telling us to just give up on our careers and let everything fall apart? I was sitting on my couch with a cup of tea when I read those, and I just had to take a slow, deep breath, because my heart completely understands why you would ask that. Can I let you know? I also spent my 20s and most of my 30s in pencil skirts and tailored power suits, drinking way too much black coffee on an empty stomach, and trying to outwork every single man in the room. I was terrified of dropping the ball. We are deeply conditioned to suffer from the perfect employee syndrome. We believe that if we just accommodate everyone, and if we just say yes to one more project, we will eventually be safe. In fact, I loved the ambition. I still do. So let me be completely clear right from the start. I am not telling you that some shadowy group of villains is sitting in a dark boardroom and trying to steal your life. No. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's nothing like that. It's simply that the rules of how we create wealth, manage energy, and build value have fundamentally evolved, and most of us were never given the updated playbook. We are operating on an industrial-era mindset in an artificial intelligence world. We are just a little behind the curve of how the economic machine actually works today. So tonight we are going to catch up. We are going to look at the hidden rule of the game without the guilt. And speaking of these new rules, think about how much we are expected to juggle today compared to our parents' generation. It's physically and mentally exhausting, isn't it? If you feel like you are spinning a dozen plates at once, constantly vibrating with anxiety but barely making progress financially, I want to validate that feeling. You are not crazy. Up until the 1970s, the economic math was pretty simple. Wages and productivity grew together in a straight, predictable line. If you worked hard and produced more, your paycheck grew alongside your output. When people left the office at 5 p.m., they actually left, but then technology exploded. So here, let's talk about Dave, a senior designer I know. 30 years ago, David's job would have been done by an entire department of 5 people: a typesetter, a layout artist, a project manager, a copy editor, and an illustrator. Today, Dave does it all by himself on his laptop. He flips between Figma, Photoshop, and AI tools, while simultaneously answering messages from his boss at dinner time. The cognitive load is staggering. His brain is constantly context switching. He is producing 5 times the output of his predecessors, but Dave's salary didn't multiply by 5. Factoring in inflation, he might actually have less purchasing power. Why? Because the people at the very top, the business owners, the shareholders, the algorithm creators, understood early on that technology allows them to detach their time from their money. They captured the surplus value. They built leverage. Meanwhile, good, hardworking, highly educated people like Dave are still trying to trade their mortal physical hours for a flat paycheck. We can't be angry at the people at the top for figuring out the math of leverage. But we absolutely must learn how to upgrade our own strategy to match theirs. Because here's the reality check. We are not machines. We are human beings. We have days where our energy is through the roof and days where we just need to slow down, pull back, and rest. That's just how humans work. But a corporate spreadsheet doesn't care if you're fighting off a cold, if you haven't slept well in a week, or if you're just completely emotionally drained. The corporate world expects you to be a straight line, delivering the exact same perfect output every single day. You can think about how your body actually reacts when you hear that Microsoft Teams ping at 8 p.m. Your stomach drops, your heart beats a little faster, your brain reacts like you're in actual physical danger, all over an email. So what happens when you finally crash from pretending to be a robot? Your HR sends you an invite for a mandatory resilience seminar, or they hand you a free 3-month trial to a meditation app. Let's be honest here. Your company is giving you a meditation app because they have absolutely no idea how to fix the fact that you are doing the job of 3 people. But here's the real danger. You start buying into it. You start thinking, man, if I just did more exercise, if I drank more green juice, or if I forced myself to wake up at 5 a.m. to journal, I wouldn't be this tired. You end up blaming yourself. You take a perfectly normal human reaction to being worked into the ground and you treat it like a personal failure. Please, please stop doing that to yourself. And honestly, this guilt, this exhaustion, it is actually costing you a fortune. Let's look at the real math behind it. Society tells us that if you make a 6-figure salary, you have won the game. You are successful. Well, let's look at Elena. Elena is a marketing director making $120,000 a year. On paper, she is a massive success. But look at her real-life margins. Her contract says she works 40 hours. But with the evening emails, the Sunday prep to avoid Monday anxiety, and the mandatory networking, she easily works close to 70 hours a week. By the time Friday night hits, her tank is completely empty. Because she has absolutely no energy left to give to herself, she pays what I call the stress tax. She orders expensive DoorDash and Uber Eats every night because she physically cannot stand in her kitchen to chop a vegetable. She spends a fortune on high-end skincare serums trying to hide the dark circles, the cortisol breakouts, and the sheer fatigue on her face. She spends her hard-earned weekends recovering in a dark, quiet room, paying for expensive massages just to unknot her shoulders, instead of actually living her life. Did you see it? These are the phantom costs of a high-stress W-2 job. When you take Elena's gross salary, subtract taxes, the cost of commuting, and then subtract all the money she spends, just to buy back a tiny bit of comfort, convenience, and sanity, her net margin is shockingly thin. If you divide that leftover cash by the 70 hours her job actually steals from her life every week, her true hourly rate is not the $60 she thought it was. It is closer to $15 an hour. She is trading the best, most beautiful years of her youth for a cash flow that barely covers the cost of her own exhaustion. She needs a new operating system. We all do. So, what do we actually do? March into the office tomorrow, smash our laptops, and rage quit? No, we're adults. We keep our cool. But we do need to flip the script. We take our ambition back from the company, and we save that fire for ourselves. Real ambition is not answering Slack at midnight just to prove you're loyal, especially to a place that would post your job opening by Friday if you dropped dead on Thursday. Real ambition is quietly building a life where you actually own your time. And until you can buy your way out of the rat race with investments or your own business, you have to practice strategic detachment. This word, strategic detachment, just means you do the job they pay you for, and you do it brilliantly. But you stop burning your own health to cover for their bad management. You draw a line. When your boss asks you to take on a massive 4th project without giving you any extra help, you don't panic. And you don't just say yes to prove you're a team player. You just smile and you say something like, "I'd love to help tackle this, but looking at my plate right now, which of my other 3 projects should we put on hold so I can actually focus on this?" And when they text you on a Saturday afternoon about something that isn't a literal fire, you don't text back right away. On Monday morning, you just say, "Hey, saw your note over the weekend. I stay completely offline on my days off so I can recharge, but let's jump into this now." You make them prioritize. You stop acting like a human shock absorber for their chaos. You start treating your energy like the luxury asset it actually is. Today, I know that is a lot of heavy truth to swallow all at once. Waking up to all this, realizing you need to play the game differently, it takes time. It's a lot to process. And you don't have to figure it all out tonight. Right now, I just want you to pause, step away from the screens, wash the day off, put on your most comfortable sweatpants. Let the emails, the fake deadlines, and everyone else's drama just wash down the drain for the night. You are not a machine. Your worth has nothing to do with how many things you crossed off a to-do list today. You are a living, breathing human being, not a human doing. Well, it's getting late. I've got to go. Let me give you a hug and good night. Good dream.